we are looking to become trauma informed, which means that first, like a deeper understanding of trauma and trauma dynamics and how it shows up in ourselves, in people, in organizations, so that I notice that more and I stop fighting the symptoms and I develop like a deeper quality to relate to the root. Which, for example, can mean that if I recognize that in myself more and I create more like safety in myself, then I see that a person that comes at me like a bit more distant is actually not disliking me, but is that the distance is based on some inner fear, that the person kind of often didn't feel belonging, and the belonging wasn't safe, and relating is not safe. And that's why the person comes across a bit distant, maybe a bit critical, maybe a bit rationalizing. But if that doesn't threaten me, then I can relate to where that's really coming from and create a deeper connection that will slowly relax that pattern. If not, then I start fighting, like I'm getting engaged in the behavioral pattern that creates. And that maybe then I say, no, maybe I don't like that person so much. And like this, we're already part of a trauma dynamic. And so when we first are looking to become more trauma informed, notice those things and maybe have a wider range of possibilities how to respond and how to regulate ourselves. The second step, of course, for many people is then that, wow, once I notice how trauma shows up everywhere, I want to be part of its healing. So that's why we go into more trauma sensitive and trauma integrating levels, which means that I'm part of its integration. And that's why I stop the trauma recurrence and I become more integrated and whole. So I think for most of the people, once we understand that we are drinking water with a little bit of poison, we will stop drinking that water. But as long as we don't know that we are drinking poisonous water, so we keep drinking it. And we're wondering about the side effects. But once I know, there's a little bit of poison in the water, that's why I don't feel good, I will stop drinking that water, or I will purify that water and then drink clean water.